WAMD Aberdeen.
Welcome to Chamber Buzz, a presentation of the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. Here are your hosts, Heather Irizarry.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Chamber Buzz. Happy almost summer. Next week brings us into summer. I can't believe it's coming up so fast. This is Kate Rodriguez, the Marketing and Communications Specialist at the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. We have the whole gang back again. Heather is back from her Harford Leadership Academy experience.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be back. It feels like it's been, I don't even know, I guess since February. I'm excited, and we've got the whole gang back, so we're reunited. Cue the music.
That's right. Yeah. And least importantly, Connor Hanley, the membership coordinator with the Chamber. The spotlight is on Heather this morning. And then we also have a special guest, Alec Orr of RISE Joppa, with us this morning. We're very excited to have you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about what RISE is and how you kind of got involved in what you do at RISE?
So RISE is a medical cannabis dispensary. I got involved. I've been working in the cannabis industry for about 5 years now out in Colorado, and I got reached out by a friend who also works for the company, and I really like the company's mission and goals and just how they treat for their patients and respect their employees and everything. So I made the move over here to be closer to family and help the community out with RISE through medical cannabis.
Wonderful. And you mentioned about your mission. What is the mission at RISE, and how does it drive you and your team and what you do?
So our mission at RISE is to help all of our patients with the utmost care, help them guide through the kind of sometimes scary industry, with it being such a new industry for people and kind of intimidating. We want to make sure that people are comfortable and are educated about their choices. We want to offer an alternative to their medicine and allow people to exercise their right to wellness by having an alternative choice to medicine. So all of our patient care specialists and myself up there are patients, and we've all been affected to the opioid epidemic that's also hit the Harford County area especially hard. So we're especially mindful of helping patients that are dealing with that as well. We want to help the community ultimately decrease that use, because it's been shown in areas where illegal cannabis is available, opioid use will go down. So we're here to help that, but ultimately we really want to help patients help get relief from their ailments in a natural way, because a lot of our patients want the right to choose and not be on pharmaceuticals and have a right just to enjoy something naturally.
That's great. It is such a large issue here in Harford County, and it's great that you can bring that alternative medicine locally. A lot of people, I don't think, because medical cannabis is somewhat still new, I don't think the public is generally super educated on it, and I think there's a lot of stigma surrounding it. What is something that people might not know about the industry?
We have a lot of products. A lot of people still think that with cannabis, people are out just to, for lack of better terms, get high. And we have a lot of products that have no psychoactive effect, that provide a lot of natural relief from people's ailments such as pain, hunger, and such like that, that don't have any kind of psychoactive effect to it, and so they can go about their day naturally with a natural relief rather than have some kind of effect that they don't want throughout the day. And a lot of our demographics are people that you wouldn't think. It's most commonly 55 years old and up. And so we have a lot of patients that are in there that have wanted to try cannabis because it's always been a stigma in their life, as you mentioned. And so we want to help destigmatize that and show that there really is a lot of benefits from it and no stigma to it.
I think it's interesting, because I feel like you bring up two good points. So you have that first point that you made about, correct me if I'm wrong, did you say psychoactive, psychotropic? I'll let you take that.
Terms
yes,
for it.
Because I think that's a huge consideration with the business community, because I know that when you're talking about, individuals needing pain relief per se, but then they also have to be expected to show up to work and, to be coherent, for lack of better terms, and that there are options there that have nothing to do with affecting your ability to operate in the daily workspace. And I think the second issue that was very interesting is your demographics. There's such a large, we all know, we've heard how many of the workforce is going to be retiring in the next 5 years. So we have this increased senior population. They're obviously having, they will have ailments, and they will need to find resources to help with those ailments. And so I think that the medical cannabis industry is very interesting, and there's definitely, like Kate said, a lot of misconceptions, and there's still a lot of educating, I think, left to do. So I know you all are great in terms of putting that out there, and we met with Alec and the whole crew, that was like back in, I think, last fall, and they took us on a tour of the facility and really talked to us about what that experience is when someone comes in for the first time, and really listening to them and trying to get to the root of the problem and making suggestions for, products that could be helpful and guiding them through that process. So I think that's wonderful.
Certainly, yes. Education's a huge part of our job right now. There's a lot of, whenever you come into the shop or when you go to see the doctor, there's all kinds of different letters being thrown at you, THC and CBD and all these different things. And so we're there to help guide you and make you feel comfortable, and ultimately just educate you to what your options are. And if you don't like the options and don't want to buy anything, that's perfectly fine. And if you have people that are just curious, we're always happy to take the time to talk to those people that want to come in that might have questions or just inquiries about cannabis and if it's right for them or for a loved one or just whoever. And so we're always there for people who aren't patients and helping getting them signed up for patients if that's the right choice for them.
And that's great that you all do that. I feel like educating people is so important, especially with the stigma. Like you said, I previously worked in senior care, and we had a lot of residents who suffered from Parkinson's, diseases like that. And, family members would be mortified when you would suggest trying medical cannabis, and the effects were amazing, like just complete 180 turnaround, or 90 degree, whatever. 180 turnaround.
We're not mathematicians here.
Right.
We won't get you.
And it's amazing how it can help people. So.
And I think that's a huge part too, hearing the actual testimonials of patients. And I'm sure you shout them from the rooftops. I've heard some personally with some individuals locally I know whose family members have, had great success stories and turnarounds, like you mentioned, with their parents or their grandparents. And I think that's a huge part of what needs to be celebrated in the community, is people knowing other people who have used it and it's helping them.
Is there something about RISE, like your products, that people might not know about or that separates you from other companies in the industry?
So we at RISE, again, as we mentioned, all of our patient care specialists are patients as well. And so I think what sets us apart is we really go above and beyond to make sure that you're educated and have a great experience. Ultimately, when you walk through the door, we want you to leave knowing something more than you didn't know before coming in, and hopefully having a happier day than when you left or than when you came in too. And so I think that really kind of helps set us apart, is whenever you go to other dispensaries, they are very caring people, and then you can come to ours and we kind of hopefully set the bar a little bit higher. But again, we really push to help the whole industry. We're ultimately all here to help the patients, and so that's why we're just the care. You can really feel it whenever you walk through the doors.
How can someone become a patient from, what's the process like walking in? Do you help them, get registered? What is that process like?
So most of the registration can be done online from the home. The website for the state website is mmcc.health.gov. And it's a really easy process. You register with the state first as a patient, and it's a $50 fee now because you have a patient identification card just to help you out, identify you as a medical cannabis patient if you get pulled over or when you come to shop, to help with that. Once you get approved by the state, you'll have to go see a state-issued or a state-licensed provider, which can be anything from a nurse practitioner to your doctor, to a dentist, it's basically somebody who can write a prescription that's also taking the time to register as a provider for cannabis. That list of providers can also be found on the MMCC website, and it's a huge list now. It's whenever I first got here about a year and a half ago, it was only one page at most, and now it's 60 pages long.
Wow.
And so the industry's really growing. The education's really gotten a lot of doctors to open their ears and start changing their minds about it and want to help patients. Once your doctor approves you as a patient, and the list of ailments is very wide, from chronic pain to more severe terminal issues, and again, all those ailments can also be found on the website. From there, you come in with your doctor certification, and we can help you, guide you from there. It can be a complicated process. A lot of people don't have computers or access to internet, and that's very understandable. And so we also can help you do that in shop. And we will take the time to walk you through all that part of the process. We'll let you put in your personal information just so we don't have that if you don't want to, but we are HIPAA protected with everything in the medical and cannabis industry, and so that's another comfort that can come to mind is you don't have to worry about anybody finding your information when you come in the dispensary. You are protected like you go to the doctor, you're protected with us too with HIPAA. And so once we have you registered, it's from there, it's just coming in and shopping like normal, like you go to a grocery store almost.
That's great that you help them through every step of the process there. What is something that, you said you worked in Colorado for a while and came back to Maryland. What is something about operating business in Harford County that you find most rewarding?
To me, Harford County has a really good community sense. We go to the chamber events that they host, and you can just feel it there. All the businesses really feel connected, and you can feel that when the patients come through the door. They want to share their businesses and their experiences with their friends, and then they invite us out. And so I really like the community feel of Harford County, and just there seems to be a lot of good people here so far.
I love that.
Yes, love to hear that.
Right. Yeah, I know that the chamber tries to put that out there as much, so just when everybody else feels it. And I do truly believe that we're a pretty well connected and supportive community overall. And I think even, businesses in the same industry, like you said, the number one focus is the patients, and it's educating them to get what they need and to help them. And I think that's awesome. So good. I'm glad to hear it. Not that, I own Harford County, but we're all proud to be here.
That's great. And I know you had mentioned before the show that you guys are looking to rebrand a little bit. Are you looking to expand throughout Harford County?
Not to my knowledge. That's kind of a little bit above my head right now. I mainly just manage the store in Joppa and focus on helping our patients and my team have a great day there.
So what you're saying is if you want to see Alec and have your questions answered or you need help, you need to go see him in Joppa. And it's right on Route 40, which is nice and convenient.
Very convenient.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, we're very conveniently located. We're at 702 Pulaski Highway. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Wednesday. We're 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday and Friday we have a little bit of extended hours from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday we're 10 to 7 again, and Sunday we have shorter hours from 12 to 5 p.m. And so we're open every day of the week. Some holidays we like to give our team members off to be with their families. So some holidays we will be closed, but we try to let everybody know in advance about that too. You can also call us at any time, where our phone number is 410-676-1123.
And I think just before we end with Alec, we're going to ask him a couple rapid fire questions, just to get you to know you, Alec, as an individual. Now we know all about you and your role at RISE, but let's just do a couple rapid fire. I think this says a lot about someone. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, definitely. I have a
A+, yes. Okay, good. You
I think
passed
that's
this
the
test.
consensus here.
Nothing against
With the
cats.
chamber,
But... All right. What about, do you have a best favorite local restaurant?
I'm kind of partial to one in the Joppa Edgewater area called the Deck Crab House. It's
never
got
been
some
there.
great seafood options, and I go there every now and then for lunch break, and it's nice, good people there too.
Good. Mark that down on our list,
Never
ladies. It
been.
might be
That's
our next lunch
something to
spot.
try.
All right. Anybody have what other favorite color?
I'd have
That's
to go
hard.
with blue.
Blue. Oh, I like that.
It's a very basic question, but I feel like it does say a lot
That
about
says a
someone.
lot too. Don't they say that blue is like, if you paint your walls blue, it's supposed to make you feel happier? I believe that. Yeah.
I know if you paint your walls like
Right,
a light
calm.
blue, your house will sell quicker. I've
Oh,
heard.
good to
I
know.
don't
That's
know.
always good
All right.
too.
Well, you're onto
Yeah.
something with the color blue. Anybody else have any burning
Are
rapid
you
fire?
a sports guy? Favorite sports teams?
I used to play soccer a bunch. I'm from Georgia originally, and so I have to go with the Atlanta team there, the Atlanta United. But I am a soccer guy, and then I've gone to a few Orioles games here, so the Orioles are growing on me. But I'm still at heart, I'm still a Braves fan.
Did you notice when they
Alright.
sing the national anthem, the O? Have you noticed that when you've been at games? That's
That's
a
one
Maryland thing. Yeah. I feel like I've seen that when I've been at sporting events for like the Ravens in different states, and they still do that. But
I always wonder, like, if people that are not Marylanders, they're
They're-
probably
yeah,
like,
they're
what are they
questioning.
doing?
huh? Like, did something happen?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Alec, for being on this morning for Chamber Buzz. We're really appreciative to have you. Obviously, so thankful that you're a part of our Chamber family, and we're always here to support. And again, if you have any questions or you're curious, make sure to reach out to Alec and all his crew and team over at the Joppa RISE Dispensary. Thank you again.
Thank you for having us out.
I mentioned earlier that Heather was back from her Harford Leadership Academy experience, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. in this segment. But first, I want to just welcome some of our new members to the Chamber. Our Chamber family has expanded recently, and, that's always great to see growth. The more members we have, the stronger we are together. So I'm going to go through and welcome those new members. We have Harford Gymnastics, Thompson Toyota, The Learning Experience, Best Friends Forever, Business Auto Home Insurance, the Klein Family Harford Crisis Center. And the Crisis Center, if you haven't seen, they recently did a ribbon cutting opening up the facility. They are a new behavioral health crisis center, and they provide 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crisis care for mental health as well as addiction issues for adults and children. And what's great is no one is going to be turned away based on insurance. That's really rare, and that's great that they are able to do that. Something that, especially locally, we have heard about, over and over again, that opioid crisis, as well as 1 in 5 people suffer from mental illnesses. So that's going to be a great resource for our community.
Yeah, and something really Harford County should be very proud of, because from what I understand, it's the first of its kind in the state.
Yes.
So Harford County is really taking that forefront leadership role, being that mover and that shaker, and trying to find resources and new solutions for the opioid addiction as well as mental illness crisis.
Our next new member is Remax Components, and then finally we have Scholes Associates. So again, welcome to them, and then we're going to dig in. We're going to ask Heather about some of her experience at HLA. I know I've heard in the office some of the great experiences that they've had throughout the past few months. So Heather, if you want to give a little recap.
Sure, I'd love to. So if you are not familiar, the Harford Leadership Academy is actually a partnership program. The Chamber is fortunate to be able to partner with the Harford Community College. It's a 13-week, and it's a leadership program. And it's very interesting when you look around the state and you look at other counties who have similar sorts of programs. They're upwards in between the $5,000 to $7,000 range is what the cost of a program like that is. And locally, and I should have double checked this, but I believe Harford Leadership Academy is only really around like $750, I believe it is, for the 13 weeks. So it's a really great program for an even better price in terms of having that sort of professional development opportunity. And that is what it's meant for. It's meant to really shape that next senior level leadership, and to make sure that they are not only learning about the inner workings of Harford County, but just being in that class of 40 other people, you develop a camaraderie, right? And you have this new network with all these people that are doing great things in the county already. And like you said, when you are as one and you're an even bigger group, you can get so many more things done. So it's an incredible experience. Again, it was 13 weeks. I'll just give like a few highlights for me we talked about this in the last class. Every single one of us went through and gave kind of our best experience or takeaway. I had a couple. It's actually really hard for me to decide because the program is great, but 2 in particular stand out. Again, I've worked with the Chamber for 3 years, and I've always met, military individuals or individuals that work in the civilian capacity on APG. Never been over there myself. Always laugh that they have all these acronyms and ATEC this and, PTAC, and I never knew really what any of that was and couldn't really, see it in my mind. So we actually went to APG as one of our field trips, because you do actually go out for on-site sessions. And so we spent a whole day at APG. We got a tour of both the North and the South APG posts. We learned all about ATEC and ARL, and now I'll be the one that's throwing out the acronyms that you all won't understand.
Yeah, right.
But it was amazing. I mean, seriously, the work that they're doing over there, especially the ARL is Army Research Lab, the kinds of technologies that they're coming out with and the innovation for, it's all for the soldiers. So they're trying to get solutions to the soldiers so that when they're in the midst of the field or in combat, that they have the resources they need, whether it's 3D printing drones. They had a 3D printed drone that was maybe like, I don't know, how big is this? 2 feet by 2 feet at the most, that they were looking at, obviously making sure that it can withstand temperatures and winds, and so that if they needed a part in the field or, food, they could use this 3D printed drone. They could print right there in the country fly it out.
That is unbelievable.
It was
And to
amazing.
think that is right in our
Yes.
backyard. All of these,
Right.
technological advances, and that's amazing.
Yeah, and they have all the PhD candidates and such just brilliant people, scientists working over there. I mean, it's truly amazing. So that was a highlight. And then Brooms Bloom. I'd never been over there. Again, it's
The best
I
ice
feel,
cream.
Yes, and they gave ice cream at the end.
Can't beat
I don't
that.
want to say that was the best part, but I mean, who wouldn't?
Right. You can't top that.
Yeah. So again, it was a great program, and of course, like the relationships and the strengthening of people I had already a relationship with, but we have learned about each other on such a deeper level. I am so grateful to the Chamber, to our board of directors for allowing that opportunity, and so thankful that the Chamber is a part of being able to put that program out there for the community. So if you're interested, I believe the applications will open up January 2020, I believe. Definitely go on the website and check it out. And if you have any questions, I'll be free to answer. And I think we should be sending one more through. We always have somebody go through, so I believe Kate's next in line.
Yes, I'm very excited for that, especially after seeing your whole process and the graduation and everything. I'm very excited to do that next year. And for anyone listening, it's on Harford Community College's website if you want to look into Harford Leadership Academy anymore. So thank you for that, Heather. We're just going to end with some things you don't want to miss. So going into FY 2020, we are developing some new things that we're going to be releasing, so you've got to stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, ending our fiscal year, we have our Education and Scholarship Breakfast. That's coming up this Friday on June 14th, so you're going to want to register for that today if you haven't already. That's a chance for the business community to come together and celebrate our scholarship recipients. The Harford Chamber actually has their own 501c3 arm that awards scholarships. That's our Harford Chamber Education Foundation. So we're going to come together, celebrate them, and network, and we're going to hear from the Teacher of the Year as well. There's going to be free headshots available during the networking portion of that event. Next, we have a special Coffee and Connections a week from today, Wednesday, June 19th at 8 o'clock, right at the Chamber in our boardroom. We're thanking you, our loyal Coffee and Connectors, for,
I like that. I
always
was not privy to that little...
always
Very
coming
cute.
to support each other. And that's going to be our summer kickoff. We're going to have breakfast. The Chamber is going to provide breakfast and coffee and a little special gift. So you don't want to miss that one tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow morning.
Next week.
Next week.
Yep.
Exactly a week from today. I apologize. Our annual meeting and gavel exchange is coming up on June 20th, and that's our members are going to be voting on our new board for the next upcoming year, so that's a really important event if you're a member or if you're not a member to come see what we're all about and what we've accomplished in the last year. We're going to talk about our goals for the next coming year. So that's June 20th. It's a luncheon, so 11 o'clock to 1:15. Definitely want to check that one out.
And we're excited and thankful, too, for our sponsor for the annual meeting and gavel exchange this year. It's actually one of our newer members, the Chamber Best Friends Forever. That's F-U-R. They are... they have a campus in Joppa, and I can't remember where the other one is, but I believe it's yep, and they are like a doggy daycare of sorts, but they do a lot to cater to like senior dogs, and they just have so many resources. If you need somewhere to, board your dog for the weekend, I think that's crucial because it's hard. I mean, dogs are some people's babies, mine is. So they have great options there. They're wonderful people, Kelly and Pat. It's a husband and wife duo, so you will meet them and get to hear about them at annual meetings, so that's exciting. We're trying to convince them to bring some dogs, so cross your fingers.
Right. And then finally, we have our chamber mixer with the Cecil County Chamber of Commerce on Thursday, June 27th from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. at the Hollywood Casino in Perryville. This will be a great opportunity to meet business professionals from both chambers. We're sister chambers, neighboring chambers, so you can make some great connections in both counties at that.
With the chance to turn some free slot play into some potential winnings.
That's right.
It happens every year. At least one person does.
You could be that person.
That's right.
Yep.
So definitely register online. You can visit our website or call the chamber at 410-838-2020 to register.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and thank you to Alec Orr of RISE Dispensaries for coming on the show today and taking the time and, helping us learn a little bit more about the medical cannabis industry. You can always reach us, like Connor said, by phone, or our website is harfordchamber.org. And you're going to want to stay tuned on our socials, Harford Chamber on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well. Again, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your week.
You've been listening to Chamber Buzz, a presentation of the Harford County Chamber of Commerce. For more information, go to harfordchamber.org.